Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live. I'm your host, Justin D. Morgan. And the dinosaur says roar. All right. Jeremy says there are 6 of us in chat. Who's the 7th person? Well, Jeremy, the 7th person is probably me. Because even though I haven't typed anything in the chat, I am technically in the chat. So, it is possible. Oh, or it's Bill Lewis. It could also be Bill Lewis. Anyways, let's see here who we have in the chat. We have Francois. Hi, Francois. We have Callan. Hi, Callan. We have Jesse, I8386SX. Hi, Jesse. Reminding me that it's just in time. Yes, I have Thursday evening chores that must be done, so the trash goes out. And I had to clean up the Meso Wheel of Regrets from Tuesday night because it was still on the floor. We have David Starbuck. Hi, David. We have Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Hi, Jeremy. We have Jamie's Hack Shack. Hi, Jamie. We have Bill Lewis. Hi, Bill. We have Vborg asking, is it live or is it Memorex? Well, hi, Tim. It is live. All right, and we have Retro Tech Chris. Oh, we have several people admitting they could have been the mystery chat person. Hi, Chris. Welcome. We have Thomas Armstrong. Hi, Thomas. And we have Gut Bomb. Hi, Jason. And Jeremy, the answer is no. I'm not updating my profile pic just yet. I don't care what people think. I'm not just going to simply update my profile pic. Just yet. I give it time, I probably will. But anyways, David says nice stash, by the way. Thank you, thank you. But I'm not ready to update my profile pic just yet. Let's see if this manages to survive spring, because it might not. Anyways, let's see here. All right, I am an exhibitor at VCF East. I do have a coffee goal. The link is in the description, and well, you can see the gold bar is, well, low. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. All right, let's see here. I think the first item of David says, as a person with copious facial hair, I say stick with it. Well, you're not the one that has to put up with it itching. I do. Although my mustache and at least this part of my beard, which is why I kept the goatee, doesn't itch as much as others. Retro Tech Chris says, I just finished shaving. Haha. Alright, anyways. First we are going to start with the things that you all have sent me. Although in this case, I think it's things that I won from you all that you then sent me. Because Jamie's Hack Shack, I believe Jamie is in the chat, had a giveaway of the something the other day, and I go on YouTube and I noticed that I've been tagged in a post, and I recognized recognized my picture and said, that guy looks familiar. So anyways, thank you, Jamie, for getting this out to me. Thank you for having fairly regular giveaways on your channel as well. So let's see here. Jeremy says, Cookie, why does everyone have to come up with ridiculous names for facial hair? That's one reason why some people just don't like to grow it. But Jeremy says, cookie dusters can get annoying for those who aren't used to it. Yeah. Anyways, we have, oh, looky here. We have an MOS thingy. All right. I'm sure someone will look at this and say, why do you have a Mo thing? But, well, yeah, MOS, cool. Is that a magnet? No, it's just a 3D print. All right. And we've got paper. I like paper. And we have, let's see here, bubble wrap. And a nice box here. David says Mo is a good brand, by the way. Christian Iverson says, turn it upside down and you have an SOW sign. Why, yes, we do. I take this to work and people wonder why do you have a statement of work sign at your desk? Oh, oops, sorry, I turned it upside down. There we go. All right, we have a Jamie's Hack Shack sticker. All right, I love stickers. Bill Lewis asks, I'm curious as to why you wear those gloves. Multiple reasons. It stems from the fact that I guess I don't like getting flux on my hand, and it just is a habit of putting them on. And half the time when I'm opening up Wheel of Regrets things, like Tuesday's Image Writer printer that was wrapped in bed sheets, I'm kind of glad I have gloves on when I open those too. It just kind of stuck. But we have the, yes, we have the Pie Hut Advent Calendar. I guess the 12 Days of Piemas. Anyways, cool. Thank you, Jamie. I think Jamie did some videos on the Advent Calendar. Gutbomb says, brand identity, yes. Jeremy says, a sow is a kind of pig. Don't do it. Yes, I can't say that I'll wear the dark green gloves forever because the price of these went up ridiculously from Amazon. But anyways, I will enjoy my Pie Advent Calendar. Thank you once again, Jamie, for having giveaways on your channel. Do go check out Jamie's Hack Shack. He's, every month he does a hacker box from Hacker Boxes. And they're always pretty neat. And he's always doing giveaways and otherwise being an awesome part of the Tinkerer community. So go check out his channel. And I will enjoy my Advent Calendar. And now we have 2 boxes here, but we can't do anything with these boxes without a word from the following.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our favorite segment, Wheel of Regrets. Here's your host, Dustin D. Morgan.
Hey, who comes with these titles anyway?
All right. Jesse says, I have a piggy to the right of me, not a literal pig. Mega says, oi, hi, Mega. And Christian says, bacon. All right. So both of these boxes come from Minnesota. So hi again to all my eBay sellers in Minnesota. And this box comes from the same seller. I bought 2 items and they obviously did not combine shipping. So yay for me. So, also, bought these from a seller that I probably swore I would never buy anything from again. However, I should have probably prefaced it with, well, I'm never buying hard drives from that seller again, and now you probably know which one I bought them from. But once you see these items, you'll see why I decided to give them a second chance so soon after their absolutely joyous hard drive packaging job. Jeremy says, mini soda. I'm sure you can get mini sodas in Minnesota. All right, so, okay, it was a gamble as to which box I would open first. So, you know, why not? I'll open both boxes, and that'll let people have a chance to guess what each item is. So, there's item number 1, kind of obscured by bubble wrap. Oh, okay. I will at least make sure that the front of the box is on the camera side there. In fact, I'll even zoom in a little here, because someone might recognize the obscured packaging. Oh, we have Freedom Linux. Welcome, Freedom Linux. Freedom Linux says, too funny, I just got a delivery of hard drives for my Sun machines. Well, hopefully they were packaged better than packaging on one side only. Jesse says, you can get that awesome Snowberry Peace Tea in Minnesota. I don't know why it was pulled from shelves here. David says, Minnesota is a Native American word for darn it's cold. Oh, Jeremy says in parentheses, a reference to the Texans map of the USA. Oh, I did not get that at all because I'm not a Texan. Oh, well, here we go. Obviously, this eBay seller doesn't put bubble wrap on everything. Oh, and there I am showing address labels. Well, I'll have to fix that in post. Oh, well, and that box is... All right, well, I would like you to guess what each item is. I haven't the foggiest clue how you're going to guess what this is. It's going to be a stumper. I just don't know. Freedom Linux says, serial and parallel. Fancy. I have no idea how in the world anyone is going to guess what this is. Hashtag sarcasm. Yes, we have. An ISA serial and parallel card from SIG. In fact, I'm not even sure it was ever used because the pins look like they were never inserted in a slot. But I was watching this card before I got the other one working, and, well, they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I accepted it. But yeah, anyways, it should be parallel and 2 serial ports. It's an 8-bit card. They're 16550 compatible UARTs, so not something I had intended to put in the XT. But anyways, I thought an 8-bit serial and parallel card could come in handy someday. The price was right. And the fact that it was in the box, well, Mega says user-friendly jumpers. Yeah, well, at the least I got user-friendly jumpers on it. So anyways, we got that. Retrotech Chris says 16550 UARTs. Yeah. David Starbuck, jumpers for the visually impaired. Dip Megas, wonder why they didn't just use a dip switch. Yeah, I sometimes wonder that myself. Probably cost. Jeremy says, unless you have really fat fingers like me. I'm surprised no one guessed what this is. I'm shocked. I'm aghast. I'm also being sarcastic. All right. We have Pinnacle DVD Maker Deluxe. Freedom Linux says a copy of MS Office for Spark. All right, see? Sarcasm, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Freedom Linux. I mean, surprised one of y'all didn't lob a, if that's a VIC-20 or a Trident card guess, but hey. Pinnacle DVD Maker Deluxe. They also gave me an offer on this. This has been previously open. Jeremy says, Justin, DVD Morgan strikes again. Dang it. David says, ooh, those Pinnacle dongles are pretty darn good, actually. Yeah. So when they gave me an offer on this, I accepted it because, yeah, I have heard these Pinnacle dongles are actually really good. They're one of the better USB devices. Oh, that is USB. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so we've got the Pinnacle device, which actually looks pretty cool, too. Yeah, David Starbucks says they dazzle you. I think, we got the warning. Install software first. And uh-oh. Well, I think the software's been archived, so that's okay. I was well, I guess I overlooked the fact the software wasn't in there. But anyways, the main thing was the Dazzle capture device. So, granted, it looks like I'm going to have to go find an archived copy of the software for this, but it shouldn't be too hard. I'm pretty sure it has been archived. Jeremy says that looks identical to my Pinnacle Dazzle, just a different color. And I think that is with good reason, Jeremy, because it is a Pinnacle Dazzle, just rebranded. I will give them that. They made a good capture device, and even though they kept using it for a while, works with Windows Vista. We're not going to test that. Okay, works with XP or Vista. I'd be more likely to use XP than Vista. Anyways, yep, should be pretty easy specs to follow. David says, if you are getting into VHS digital transfers, look into getting a time-based corrector. You will thank me later. Thomas Armstrong says, Vista for fun. Yes, I didn't get this to, like, necessarily get into VHS transfers for, like, spectacular transfers. I got this because, well, my middle nickname is DVD, so anyway, and I don't know, I got it pretty cheap. So anyways, yes, I will get a time-based corrector if I actually, Callan says, that's if Vista is working, yeah. Jeremy says, Vista for the torture. Yeah. David says, Vista's the best. Thomas Armstrong says, or Windows 8. I don't know. Anyways, I'll have to find the archived software. It should be out there. David says, I thank Microsoft for releasing Vista. It's the reason I started using Linux on my laptops. Christian says, Vista isn't that bad after the manufacturers fixed all their bodged drivers. Yeah. Jesse says, server 2008 R1 is Vista without the crap. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Anyways, so there we go. From Wheel of Regrets, controller card, and DVD Maker Deluxe. Alan says, I wish I'd switched then. Yeah. All right. And now, we are going to attempt to fix a real-time clock module for my son, and I have yet to find my hacksaw. You're probably wondering, why do you need a hacksaw? Well, because that's what the directions say to use. I really don't want to use a Dremel because that's, like, overkill. And would make a huge mess. Somewhere I have an oscillating multi-tool, and if I could find that, that would at least be a acceptable compromise, because I've got a flat blade for it. Thomas Armstrong says 30K RPM Dremel. Well, if you saw the instructions on how you're supposed to do this board, you would probably see why I don't want to use something as imprecise as a Dremel. Which is why I'm lamenting that I have yet to spot my hacksaw, which I am pretty sure is in the basement somewhere, but I have not seen it for I don't know how long. The funny thing is, it could quite possibly be right beside me, and depending on where it is right beside me, I would never see it. Alright, let me see if I can pull up the instructions for this repair kit. Anyways, we have a So I ordered this from the Glitchworks on Tindy. And I should probably just go to the Tindy store and follow the page because this kit does not quite install like the other Dallas repair kits. Hence why I'm lamenting not knowing where my hacksaw is. Alright. Let me go to Tindy. Let me pull up the product page. The 48T59, I believe. There we go. It's a repair board. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. There's the page I was looking for. All right. So, let me see if I can, let's see, share my screen here. So, this is a photo of the real-time clock module that is in the sun. And you will note that in this photo, Glitch is actually cut into the module on the two ends. Because that's what you do. You cut into the two ends to about there and there. And I think the next photo will make it clear why. And that is because, unlike the Dallas modules, where the crystal goes, like, I think on these two pins, and the battery is on, like, somewhere about here and here-ish. The crystal and the battery on this module are here and here. And you will note that those pins are on the ends and are actually like smaller pins than the Dallas module. So you have a harder target to hit if you were to try to grind into it and then bodge into it. So yeah, because this is not a Dallas module. I forget who makes these. But anyways, what we're trying to do is cut the epoxy and actually cut the pins so that you can then stick a screwdriver in and pry the epoxy top off. And then you should be able to get the epoxy out, because the repair module solders here and here. I'll have to install some pins. Jeremy says those aren't pins. Those are spikes out of the back. Yeah. Yeah, the pins got soldered on at the factory. Yeah. So really, yeah. They're anyways, yeah, that's what we're working with. That's the deal with the T48 or a 48 T59 module. So this module will actually solder on like this. So I've got the repair module in the anti-static bag, and we'll actually, I'll probably have to put some pins here or something. I haven't pulled the module out. Anyways, it'll then just solder on the top of the chip and replace the crystal and the battery like a Dallas repair board. But the thing is, the pins are a much harder target to hit, so that's why this one installs that way. Jeremy says, I wonder if they modified Necroware's design. Jeremy, I think Glitchworks has been making these boards longer than Necroware has. So, because I think I knew about Glitchworks' modules before I saw Necroware's videos. So, I don't think, if anything, well, I'm not going to say anyone's copying anyone, but I know Glitch has been making these longer than I saw Necroware's video. So, yeah, Glitch, as Mega says, Glitchworks has made stuff for industrial customers for a long time. So I think Glitch has been making repair boards for all sorts of modules for quite a while. I would say this is a case of Yeah, and as Mega says, the design isn't exactly complicated. Yeah, there's really nothing special about replacing the crystal and the battery with that would be soldered and potted with a PCB. And Jesse says, but Necroware has a funny Easter egg. Yeah, yeah. Christian says, the Dallas solution was so weird. Many mainboards still have footprints for batteries and traces to where the bent up pins are. Like, why? Cost? No, you're probably laughing, but seriously. It could depend on in some cases, it could depend on could they get Dallas modules cheaper than they could the Dallas chip plus a battery and crystal. So I think on some boards, I've seen some boards with both in the wild, and I think it came down to cost, which was cheaper at the time to make or which was available. And if it was the 3 separate parts, then that's what they used. If it was the module, that's what they used. If Odin was cheaper than Dallas, then in some cases, some boards don't care, and they used Odin and Dallas and some of the other brands. And I think in some cases, it came down to cost. They gave themselves options, and it could have been, in some cases, what was cheapest when it went to manufacturer. In some cases, it was what was cheapest for that particular run. Oh, hi, Sadmac. Welcome. If I missed your seeing you come in the chat. Anyways, yeah, David says, if you can save 5 cents a board, that's a lot of money in reality. Yep. Freedom Linux says, hashtag money. Yeah. So anyways, that's why some boards have batteries and Dallas socket options for Dallas chip. Because in some cases, the thing is, the Dallas module has the same pinout as the Dallas chip that would be battery backed with an external battery. The thing is, all the Dallas module is, if you've never seen one, it's a 1687 or a 16887 Dallas module is nothing more than the Dallas 1285 or 12885 chip with a couple legs bent up, and the crystal and the battery are soldered on, and then they pot that in epoxy and put a plastic cover on top. So, in reality, if you can design your board to have an external battery or make it until you can use a Dallas module, it gives you options. Because the Dallas module is just basically a self-contained battery and real-time clock. Yeah, Freedom Linux says, seeing corner cutting in PCs, absolutely. Seeing cost cutting in Sun machines, Yeah, that is kind of the annoying one. Thomas Armstrong says, IBM did not cut corners, they removed them. Good one, Thomas. I like that. Yes, yes, I know Sun was cutting costs and using those modules. Yeah, Christian says even the absolutely expensive test equipment are littered with those modules. It's just useless for the end user. Oh, yeah. I've never actually shown... Well, I don't have a way to show you easily, but my Tektronix oscilloscope that's to my left, it has not 1, but 2 modules from Dallas. And I'm going to have to replace them soon, I'm pretty sure, because I do have a backup of their content, so if the batteries in them die, then I've got the backup. And there are replacement modules available that are, unfortunately, slightly more complicated than this. Because the thing is, one of the 2 modules is... It's a real-time clock, but it's not like the one PCs use, of course. It's Tektronix, so of course they used a different one. But the other one is a partitionable NVRAM module. There's no real-time clock on it. But basically what it is, it's where the oscilloscope is storing its calibration data. And The thing that's special about that chip is it's partitionable, so that you can have, like, basically, it's like it's a hard drive, except it's SRAM that's battery backed, and you can actually partition it, and you can actually set parts of it to be read only. Or you can have, I think an external pin can dictate if it's read only. So basically, the calibration data in the oscilloscope is in a read-only partition on that NVRAM chip. There's actually a switch inside the oscilloscope you have to flip, and it's one that you can only access if the cover's off, that unwrite protects it so that you could restore calibration data. Oh yeah, and never mind the fact they are most certainly soldered to the main board in the oscilloscope, and it is a thick as all get out PCB. It's probably an 8-layer PCB. That's going to be fun to desolder. Okay, maybe it's a 4-layer, but quite honestly, given everything that's on it, it wouldn't surprise me if it's more than 4 layers. Because it's a Tektronix scope, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a 6-layer board, because there's a huge honking ground plane in it, just to keep noise down for the acquisition boards. Yeah. Freedom Linux says, several of my coworkers have been ex-Sun. The Oracle era, we don't talk about. David Starbucks says, profits keep businesses alive, keeps jobs alive. Christian points out to David, you could also be greedy fruits like Apple, totally overdoing it. Apparently, I've heard that if you thought Apple was good about markups, that apparently they don't have anything on Sun, because apparently Sun really had the markups. Yeah, Thomas Armstrong says, and these machines were not planned to be running 30 years later. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that Tektronix probably expected this oscilloscope to be replaced in 10 years. The funny thing is, my employer scrapped it, and gave employees the chance to claim some of the scrapped equipment at the time, because we had quite a bit of it, and I managed to grab it. The thing is, I think they had it for at least 20 years before they scrapped it. Because, yeah, it's like a 500... It's totally overkill for working on vintage computers, but I got it for the grand old cost of free. Free, you just remove it from the premises, and we never see it again. Which was a cost I could agree with. So, yeah, it's a 500 megahertz scope. Totally overkill for working on vintage computers. It's got a VGA out. I mean, I could turn the oscilloscope on and show you the screen, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Tektronix expected that after 10 years that they would have bought the newest and latest and greatest of oscilloscopes. Thomas Armstrong says, please don't bring it back. Yeah, that was basically that was the cost. Yeah, that was basically the cost of the oscilloscope. The cost was, please don't bring it back. We don't want to see this get... Okay, so this module is for a PC. In fact, I was looking for this module while I was testing that Pentium Pro board, because I wanted to try it real quick, because I think the Dallas module in that Pentium Pro board's dead, and this would have been a quick way to try a not dead module, because I could just pop the battery on it and move on. But I forgot where I put this. But anyways, here's our repair board. So it looks just like the picture, except it's a blue PCB. There's our crystal, there's our battery holder, and that'll go in the chip. And yeah, there we go. Freedom Linux says, I couldn't survive if my work gave scrapped hardware to employees. We just got rid of a C13 mainframe. Thomas Armstrong says, I got a core data machine, and they made me take the printer, too. David's asking how much of power a Z13 mainframe, how much would it eat every day? And Freedom Linux answer is yes. Thomas Armstrong says the printer is the size of a fridge. Ow. But anyways, so we got the repair module. I guess now I need to go grab the Sun Station and pull the NVRAM module out of it. So let's grab it. And while we're at it, I will show you what I've done to it since it appeared on my channel, because I think I was looking at it on Dave's channel a couple weeks ago. Because first of all, the eagle-eyed among you might notice that this isn't the same workstation that I was working on last time, because it's not. If you'll remember, or for those that didn't see my video where I went through what I got at the swap meet where I got the Sun workstation, I actually picked up two from the same person. And the one I had been looking at on my channel was the one that had the RAM in it. This one had no RAM in it, so luck of the draw dictated that since the RAM's kind of in an obscure place in the machine, I mean, you can get to it, but it's like one of those. I just randomly picked the one that had RAM in it. And it was nice. I mean, it was the 360 megahertz Ultra Spark and like 128 megs of RAM or something like that. Had a hard drive in it that was working. CD-ROM drive wasn't working in it, but I pulled the CD-ROM drive out of this one. Well, anyways, something told me to just check this machine out. Well, okay, let me rewind a little bit. Okay, because I had to pull the CD-ROM drive out of this Sun workstation to be able to install Solaris on the other one, I had, I first thought about putting the CD-ROM drive from this one in the other one. But then I kind of got to thinking that maybe I would just swap the case front, because this one's case is a bit more yellowed than the other one. So I thought I'd swap case fronts. Well, but anyways, I couldn't figure out how to get the plastic off the case. So, but something told me to just try this machine before committing this one to like giving away at a free pile. And I'm glad I did. Because this one, well, it now has the only Sun RAM I have in it now. And the CD-ROM drive that works. And the hard drive we installed Solaris on. But I'll zoom into the processor, and you can't really tell from the processor, so I'm not kicking myself for not swapping things over to this one all along. Because it would have been totally easy to put the RAM in it. They're just two DIMMs. But anyways, long story short, this is not a 360 megahertz processor. This is actually the 440 megahertz processor, the fastest one that was available for the Spark Ultra 10. And because this one didn't have any RAM in it, I just went to using the other one the whole time and just completely never thought until a couple weeks ago to even try to boot this one to see what this was. Because there's nothing other than the fact that this one happens to mention the amount of cache in it and the other one doesn't. There's nothing on this label that says it's 440 megahertz. But anyways. Also, you all probably know that I had a 300 megahertz DOS card. Well, a 400 megahertz one that had the correct I/O cable showed up on eBay, and I bought it so that I could confirm what the pinout was on the header cables. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. I think, though, they're the same as the ones that are on the motherboard. But anyways. Oh, so if you see a 300 megahertz DOS card show up on my eBay account, yeah, don't worry. It's because I have another one. David Starbucks asking, does that thing have a RISC CPU? No, David, it is a RISC CPU, and it's Ultra Spark. So the architecture is Spark, and specifically, it's an Ultra Spark processor, so it is 64-bit. So, I think this is just the Ultra or Creator 3D graphics card. I'm actually thinking of getting one of the Elite 3D cards for it, just for a little bit more oomph. But yeah, it's got a Creator 3D card in it. And like 128 megs of RAM. And yep, the 400 megahertz Sun PCI card. Yeah, the 440 megahertz processor. And I also have another video card for it, but I got to figure out how to tell Open Firmware which video card to make the primary one. But anyways, before I even do that, though, the thing is, I need to get the NVRAM module to where it won't, like, where powering the system down means it forgets everything. Anyways, all you got to do to pull these modules out is basically lift up on the wings. And the module should come out. I think this one is easier to remove than on the other board. Yep, there we go. So there we go. There's the module. So basically, this outer housing, I think, protects the pins and also keeps it in the socket. So I have to try to get the chip out of that first. That's number one. But anyways, here's the real-time clock module socket right there. It's just a standard, like, 24-pin dip socket. But anyways, that's all it took to get that out. That's it. Of course, now I got a Ultra Spark on my bench. Let's see if I have like a piece of cardboard or something that I can work on top of, just because with the case off, I don't want to scratch the plastic. Well, I guess I could set this on the ground this way. All right. All right, let's get the Sun workstation out of the way carefully. All right, now comes the hard part. And I do want to do something. So I'm going to put a little dab of paint here. Although there is a dot there, but I want to make it a little more obvious which pin one is. All right, so now we have to get the module out of this carrier, because that'll make it easier to modify. The thing is, there's really no place. The only, yeah, that, I don't think that's the bottom of the chip. I think that's just more plastic. So I'm actually not exactly sure how, because I don't, the glitch work. Oh, there we go. Oh, all right. Oh, there we go. All right, so okay, I'm gonna put a little paint dot there so I remember I think it's symmetrical, but just in case. All right, so there's that. Now, while I work on this, I don't want to bend those pins. I'm going to go grab a socket just to stick this down into to protect the pins. Something tells me I'm going to end up using the Dremel as much as I don't want to. All right. So here's the socket. Oh, okay. That must be, I think that's a 24-pin socket, and that's a 28-pin, well, technically a 32-pin chip. Well, no, I guess it would be a 28-pin plus 4, plus 4 hidden pin socket. Good chip. There we go. Okay, this one will work. I think it's a 40-pin socket, but the important thing is I don't want to bend these pins if I can keep from it. So there we go. Now, of course, these pins on this socket, it's a cheap socket, so I don't really care about them. I'll bend that just like that. So now, as I work to get the top off, so according to Glitch's instructions, what I need to do is cut this at about the height of an IC chip. So let me see if I've got a chip on my bench. Here we go. I believe it's a keyboard controller or something. So I think if we set this here, just to give myself an approximate guide. All right, so let's give myself a approximate location. All right. Also, because I'm likely to scuff paint off, I'm going to draw an arrow to pin 1. A lousy arrow, but anyways, that's pointing to pin 1 because I don't know how obvious it'll be once I remove the plastic, because while there's a little divot there, I don't know what I'll see on the chip. Also, one other thing I do want to do is I want to take a photo of the label on top of the chip, because that is part of the MAC address for the system. Because yes, what's stored in this chip? Well, Part of the MAC address is. Actually, I think the whole MAC address is. Because why store the MAC address in an EEPROM on the board when you can put it in NVRAM? Because by the time the battery dies, customers should be buying a new Sun workstation, right? Right? Yeah. Something like that. That's probably what their thinking was. I've kind of been not keeping up very well with the chat. We chat about computer museums in the chat. Oh, yeah. So let's see here. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Freedom Linux says, as a kid, I watched a state university literally cut a stack of iMac G4s in half. Ooh. Yeah, I've heard about universities just destroying old computers. David Starbucks says, Mike's mess was messing with his Sun system and it had an AMD Opteron in it. Yeah, this one's older than that one. Freedom Linux says, pretty late. My X4100 M2 is an AMD Opteron from like 2007. David says, DEC, SGI, and Sun systems are so different and interesting. Freedom Linux says, DEC parts. Sometimes I do work with a localism computer museum, and they are big into DEC. David says, yeah, I guess it was a machine made near the end of Sun. Yep. Thomas Armstrong says, when I was a kid, an 1802 was state of the art. Freedom Linux says something about non-x86 machines is just fun. Yes, I would agree. David says, I have a fascination with the PDP line of computers, but I don't have the room or want to commit the money needed to play with a real one. Yeah. Freedom Linux says, see, PyDP8, PyDP10, PyDP11 reduced as front panels and a Raspberry Pi emulator. Or just emulate the whole thing in SIMH for free. David says, I know all about those. I have, Freedom Linux has all of them. But David says, but I want real steel if you know what I mean. Yep, I know what you mean, David. David says, plus I have no idea how to use any of that. I'm not an IT guy. Freedom Linux says, for actual hardware, I just go to the museum too much to run at home. David says, no options like that for me. Yep. So let's see here. David says, I'll just have to live vicariously through YouTube videos for my DEC fix. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Jesse says, I wonder if I can convince the local museum to have a selection of vintage computers. All right. So let's see if I can't find a cutting disc. Let's see what cutting discs are even in this set. We have... Are those cutting discs? No, those are... Oh, those are sandpaper discs. Okay. That's not what I want. Those are also sandpaper discs. That's not what I want. I think that green stuff is... Oh, you can't even see the kit I've got. I guess this is the only cutting discs I have are these, and well, they kind of terrify me. Well, we'll just kind of go it. All right. Well. All right. So we'll put one of these on a... Because the instructions say that I only need to cut as far into this as the pins. I guess maybe the good thing about the... All right. Well, I guess the one good thing about this cutting disc is if I go too far, well, I'll get some channel engagement. Please go ahead and smash that like button before I try this idea that I was cringing at before I even started to do it. David Starbucks says perhaps a grinding bit might work better. Well, I don't want to sit here for hours. Well, you know, you might be right, but we won't know unless I try. Also, where's my screwdriver? There it is. I also didn't want to be grinding for the next couple hours. All right, I probably don't need to go at 30,000 RPM. That's probably... All right. We'll try it at a slower RPM. This is plastic after all, not metal, so... All right. I'm going to use my smoke absorber to kind of catch dust, so prepare for spool up. All right, let's see. Everybody's saying suggestion. Jeremy, that's why it's all headed towards my smoke absorber. Mostly. Ideally, this is why I wanted to use my hacksaw too, but I can't find it. Oh, there we go. There's the pins. All right. That's all. That's as far as we cut in on this side. All right. All right, so now, I'm supposed to be able to just pop this right off. I may have to go back and get the bigger screwdriver. Oh, I have an industrial fan in my smoke absorber. I upgraded it from its stock configuration. You're supposed to be able to now stick a screwdriver in and pop the epoxy off. Although, maybe you are supposed to just cut the plastic. Oh, maybe that's the part I forgot. I just need to do this. Score the plastic. And I'm going to stop because that's seemingly further than I thought it would take to... Oh. There we go. Now I might be getting somewhere. There we go. Oh, man. Let me... Alright, let me go grab a bigger screwdriver. I need a little more leverage than my IC extractor can give me. The Glitchworks instructions say you should just be able to pry it right off. Hot air. Just insert a small screwdriver and pop the module off. I do not have a vise. Jesse says famous last words. I went a bit far on this side. Oh, that could be a problem. Jeremy, I didn't say that, so I because I know better than to say that, because I'll probably screw it up. I don't have a vise. I wish I had a vise. I don't have a vise. Oh, there we go. I cracked part of the top off. It's supposed to just pop right off. The reason why I'm not using heat is because I like running my heaters on cold nights. I would have to turn things off to be able to run my hot air. I might have to anyways. This is not coming apart like the instructions say it should. Or I cut too low. I don't know. Well, I see one of the pins on the end. But I'm kind of also seeing part of the lead frame down here, so that's not good. Well, at least the one Jeremy says makes me wonder if they cut theirs a little deeper. Well, they cut theirs with a hacksaw. I can't find my hacksaw. Yeah, maybe they did cut it a little deeper. Now look at that. Oh, there's the problem. I cut too low. Because there's these two pins. Oh. Well, I may have irreparably mangled this one. Yeah, this is why I did not want to use a Dremel. Well, it's probably fragile. Oh, hi, Mike. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I tried cutting it straight. That's why I wanted to use a hacksaw. Hi, Mike. I'm trying to fix an NVRAM module for a Sun workstation, and I'm apparently causing more damage than I wanted to, and it's bumming me out really quickly. All for want of a hacksaw that I don't know where I put it. I cut too low. I'm screwing this up as we speak. Hi, Joe, and hi, Tom Barber. Everyone's making demands of me, and here I am trying to repair something, and I'm getting bummed out because I'm screwing it up in real time, and you all are making demands that have nothing to do with repairs. Mike says, sounds like my repair process. I fix it by making it worse before making it better. That's how I learn. Not working, Joe. Because I only have 2 of these modules, and if I take the one out of the other Sun workstation, then I have a Sun workstation with no NVRAM module. But I'm probably going to have to, because I think I might have gone too far on this one. Thomas, if I drink coffee now, I will not sleep tonight, then I will be miserable at work tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. I know you all are trying to cheer me up, and I'm trying to figure out how to salvage this, and because I got lead frames sticking out on one side. I'm hoping I didn't go so far as to cut trace wires. That's going to make it really hard to press the board in to the Sun workstation. I got resin here. I don't know. All right. Let me... All right. Okay. Let's see what I can do to fix it. And this, folks, is why you use the right tool for the job. The instructions said hacksaw. All right. Okay, let me see if I can get the resin away from these two pins that I cut way too short. I'll add some heat. Which meant I had to turn off my foot heater because I don't have enough outlets to plug the hot air gun into its separate outlet. It's quite the power hog. I hope y'all realize I'm like really rough on myself when I screw projects up like this because I'll know how awful it looks underneath. Almost, yeah, Jesse says, or sometimes we're our own worst critics. Yeah, I'm a pretty rough critic of myself. Probably why it's good in Toastmasters that you don't evaluate your own speech, because I'd probably eviscerate myself. Alright, well, at least I got those pins exposed. Thomas Armstrong says, I'm the master of JB Weld and plastic bridging. Well, believe it or not, I don't have any JB Weld. Mike's Future Retro says, any chance of a meetup Friday night at VCF, maybe a VCF social hour meetup with your followers? Pizza and beers or something? I Well, there's a actually there's a restaurant. I don't remember what the name of it is, but I remember where it is. It's across the road from a trailer park. And I know you're probably thinking, Justin, that's not specific enough to. How are you going to find it from that description? And you'd probably be right. And if I can ever get the video out, that it will provide some more context. Although I think it's either on Brandon Bishop's or RetroTech Chris's channel. You'll see the trailer park. Due to wonderful directions from Waze or something, we ended up driving around the trailer park. It's actually quite a nice one. But yeah, it's on a main road across from a trailer park, and I think somewhat near a grocery store chain that I likened to Harris Teeter, but I can't recall the name right offhand, and because I would probably offend the entire state of New Jersey if I said it wrong, I'm going to just decide that I'm just not going to name the grocery chain because I'd probably offend the state of New Jersey if I got it wrong. It also happens to be Jesse says, good thing this isn't in Fond du Lac County. Trailer park doesn't narrow it down in Fond du Lac County. Yeah, I know where it is. I don't remember the name. It's a local place, but they serve Italian food. And I want to go back there, so maybe I might. Well, I thought this was a pretty nice place, and if it says anything, the proprietor, even I am fairly sure the proprietor knew we were not from around the area. And we kind of thought it was that she was going to want us to pay when we ordered the food. Then she, in their own polite way, said, "No, you can pay when you're done." I know she knew we were out of towners, and yet, and it was pretty good. Yeah, I think it's down the block from the Atlantic Hotel. It's like a local place. They had Italian food, and I thought it was a pretty nice little place. And they made, I think they made Philly cheesesteaks. Oh, thank you, Frogman. Frogman's congratulating me on 700. Yes. All right, well, I cut this thing too low, which meant I cut the pins short, which means I now have to try to figure out how to solder pins. Because by golly, there's like I don't know how you're supposed to solder pins on. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of is the opposite side of the road down the block from the Atlantic. Yeah, it's a pizza Italian restaurant. Yeah, okay. So maybe we might have to make that the gathering spot. Okay, now it's bothering me just enough. Now I'm gonna pull it up. On maps and because the other thing is I also remember it was it's also like just down the road from what had to have been like the loneliest Burger King ever or something like that. It was like, yeah, we're driving to find the restaurant and we passed this chain restaurant. I think it was a Burger King or something like that. I'm actually looking to see if it's still there on the map. And it had to have been the loneliest Burger King ever. I think there was like... I think there was like one car in the parking lot. ShopRite. ShopRite. That's what I was thinking of. All right, so there was the ShopRite. Okay, there's the Burger King, world's loneliest. Vinny's Pizza. Is that it? I think that might be it right there. I think it's Vinny's Pizza. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. On, the River Road. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Because there's the... Yeah, because there's the trailer park that our GPS turned us into. I think I even see some of the... If you see, it's either Brandon's or Retrotech Chris's video. I even see in the satellite view some of the things that get mentioned on the video. They're like the sun porch on one of the trailers. Yeah, I think it's Vinny's Pizza. Yeah, we might have to do a gathering there. Jeremy says, if I make the VCF East again, I'm going to go see the beach. Jeremy's asking if I keep the legs I clip from capacitors and resistors. Only until I clean my workbench. And then I inevitably throw them away again because I just have so many. There's probably some on my workbench if I can find them. Because inevitably I don't get them all, but... Because unfortunately, it'll get to a point where I just have so much stuff sorted together that I just, like, dump them all. I should find a container that I can store them in. Mike's Retro says also there's a place called Surf Taco on the same side as the Atlantic, about 2 blocks. Mike's Retro says, I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, hey, Jack. Welcome. Yeah, David Starbucks says, Vinny's Pizza, original name, lol. Yeah, there's a Vinny's Pizza near me, and I'm pretty sure there's a Vinny's Pizza in any major and possibly even minor metropolitan area in the U.S. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you go to Hawaii, you can probably find at least one Vinny's Pizza. Jesse says, I stopped at the world's loneliest mobile station yesterday. The guy really didn't like that I pulled out a laptop. I was kicked off that property in under 2 minutes. Wow. That reminds me of the time that I was at a restaurant and I was dining alone and I was waiting for my food. So I was browsing the web on my cell phone or playing a game on my cell phone. Anyways, I had my cell phone out in my hand. And apparently that bothered one of the patrons. I didn't get kicked out of the restaurant, but one of the other diners came up to me and she's like, you know they're monitoring me through that thing. Would you please put it away? And so as not to cause a global warfare level incident, I put my phone away, and that was like the awfulest, like, 15 minutes waiting for my food. But yeah, that's about what that person said to me. It was something about you know, they're watching me through that thing. Would you please put it away? David Starbucks says, I would have told her I know because I'm one of them. I don't know. I'm too nice of a guy. That was also the last time I went to that restaurant. It was also the first time I'd gone to that restaurant. I mean, I don't... okay, while that diner did kind of weird me out, there were other reasons, too. Oh, David says I'm a smart aleck, though. Yeah. There were other reasons why I also decided that I just didn't want to go back. It was... I don't know. I didn't think it was that great of a restaurant. If it says anything, that restaurant has closed, and another one opened in its place, and then that one closed, and I think another one opened in that one's place, and it closed, and now I think it's becoming a Chase branch. Which, maybe that location is fine as a bank branch, but it also wouldn't surprise me if it closes, because it's just kind of a really weird location. Thomas Armstrong asks, did they have one of those tablet ordering stations? No. This was actually, when I stopped in there, it was probably about 2010. So, yeah, you very much ordered at the register. Oh, wait, am I putting this thing together correctly? Double check that, because... oh, yep, alright. You know, I'm going to do something wild and crazy here. The instructions don't say to do it, but... Thomas says the tablet ordering is creepy. Jack says that was very understanding of you. Yeah. It was, I forget what the restaurant was. It was some... it was basically a fancy sandwich restaurant. Which is probably really why I didn't go back, because it was kind of the fancy dine-in sandwiches, but really it wasn't anything that I couldn't get at a local restaurant that I like. That wasn't quite as pretentious. It's also a really weird look. It was in a really weird location for a restaurant. And by the way, this isn't a drill. This is a hot glue gun. I want to put a dab of glue to hold the module in place, because especially where I kind of went too far on this one side, I'm probably going to put a dab of glue on that too to kind of hold things together. But I want to put a dab of glue on the module. No, it's a cordless hot glue gun. So there we go. A dab of hot glue. Hopefully it's hot enough to stick. And then we'll place that. Oh, wow, that was... Okay, that was not hot enough to stick. Alright, we'll try that again. Now, I got a cordless hot glue gun when I went to the beach. Mike's Future Retro says, you should have said, I feel your pain, lady. They got me with an implant in my brain. Yeah, it was just kind of a really... kind of a weird restaurant in a inconvenient location. I mean, the food wasn't bad. Just... I don't know. Just kind of... I guess overall, the restaurant didn't live up to my expectations. Was probably really why I didn't try it a second time. I don't remember them serving much of anything that you couldn't get somewhere else. Somewhere else that wasn't as inconveniently located. Because it was in a strip mall, but it wasn't a restaurant in the strip part of the strip mall. It was in a standalone building in the front side of the parking lot that you have to dodge all the traffic to get to. And I think at the time the Whole Foods might have been in the strip mall, so you can kind of do the math on... Well, let's see. You might not be aware of how big of a health nerd area the Charlottesville area is, but let me put it this way. Every time I drive by Whole Foods, aka Whole Paycheck, the parking lot is full. So you can probably figure that when Whole Foods was at that strip mall, yeah. I think that might have been before they moved to their current location with less parking. All right, there's 2 pins. All right. And now let's see if I can't get these 2 pins. Mike says Whole Foods equals rich area. Yes, there's... Well, if it says anything about Charlottesville, I think John Grisham lives in the Charlottesville area. If you want to talk about famous people that live in the area. Somewhere, I don't know where. Several members of the Dave Matthews Band are in the area. Crutchfield, Crutchfield, the place where you order audio video equipment from, they're located in Charlottesville. They have a retail store in Charlottesville. Only one, I think they have 2 retail stores. One of which I think is the larger one is in Charlottesville. The other one's in Harrisonburg. I haven't figured that one out. I totally know why the one in Charlottesville's there. But yeah, and I was trying to think there's someone else. Oh, I think Howie Long is, I think he might still live in the Charlottesville area. Yeah, definitely a place where there's, some money. But then again, it's also just a college town too, and but yeah, I think that's why the Whole Foods moved to Charlottesville City. But yeah, Mike's Future Retro said Whole Foods, rich area. Yep. Mike works in the supermarket industry. David Starbucks says Whole Foods equals grass-fed ribeyes to me. Oh yeah, they're I will not deny that they're that they do have good produce and beef meat selections. I mean, I do occasionally stop in, but it's for like a very few select items that they carry. I know someone who they started a business that makes vegetarian hamburger. Well, that's the wrong. I guess they're vegetarian burger patties, but their ingredients are like they're different than what you would get, what other vegetarian patties are, and they're like really good. In fact, I had them when they would bring them to potlucks before they started their business to sell them, and like they were always popular at the potluck. They're like really good vegetarian burger patties. But they started a business, and Whole Foods is one of their retailers, so I'll occasionally stop into Whole Foods to grab those. But yeah, I mean, I don't deny Whole Foods has good produce and good meat, and they have some stuff that are pretty nice. So I do occasionally stop in when I'm in the area if I'm hankering something. But David says, Crutchfield is where I used to get my car audio stuff 20 years ago. Oh, Mike's Future Retro says, if you know Food Lion, Giant, Shop and Save, then that's my company. Oh, well, Mike. You mean, that Food Lion right there? Because that's where I do my grocery shopping, because they're so convenient to my house. And actually, interestingly enough, yeah. Actually, interestingly enough, I used to so I live in the next I guess I live 2 counties up from Charlottesville City. I don't know why, but I think our Food Lion the one that's in our county is actually nicer than the next one south. And I don't know why, but our Food Lion has a hot wing bar, which is actually pretty nice. And, yeah. Mike says I'm in the Stop and Shop division. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love fresh eggs. So, yeah, I'm, yep. So I'm usually doing my grocery shopping at Food Lion. Is the decor all gray and white inside? No, actually, I think they did a small, I think the produce section has a little bit of, it's like a slightly upgraded decor in the produce section. I think they made it look somewhat like a little farmer's market. All right, so I'm going to, just to protect that exposed metal, I'm going to dabble in some hot glue and probably regret it because now I'm making spider webs. But anyways, yeah, I would get fresh eggs from one of my coworkers, and then they retired. But actually, now they're so it's kind of one of those that stopped. But now I might actually be able to get eggs from them again. Okay, that is making an awful mess. There we go. All right, so I put a little dab of glue on that to try to protect the lead frame from where I cut in a little too far. All right, it's not the prettiest. I am definitely my own worst critic. But maybe when I put this thing back in its carrier, maybe that'll give it the rigidity it needs to go into the socket, maybe? Well, guess there's only one way to find out. And maybe I should start by cleaning up my mess. All right, let me find the batteries I ordered for this module. I'm going to install a battery, and I'm going to at least make sure it doesn't spontaneously combust. In the event of spontaneous combustion, you will see me proceed towards the nearest exit with the spontaneous combustion subject in hand, somehow safely. Oh, I will probably be using a pair of pliers, and it will get yeeted into whatever snow is left outside after the fact that it was like 60 degrees today. Actually, for reasons, I'm kind of glad it's going to be unseasonably warm over the next week or so. Oh, and we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow. That'll be nice. Oh, Mike says he's looking to move towards the Raleigh area, and that the newer stores get a gray and white, have a gray and with most of the new stores have a gray and with decor design. Yes, reading comprehension while you're trying to figure out how to install the battery is hard. Oh, here's what we can do. I think it goes positive terminal up. One of those things that I wish I could test it without. Okay, yeah. All right. All right, there we go. And we have no spontaneous combustion. Yeah, odd. Mike says they're really pushing the in-store kitchen as a thing. Taco bar, brisket bar, sushi bar, subs bar, hot foods bar, coffee, cafe, etc. in the produce side of the store. Yeah, I think ours might have. I'm kind of wondering if maybe our food line might have been like a test store for that, because the food line I would have shopped at in my townhouse got redecorated more recently, and yet they did not put a wings bar in it or any of those bars. And yet our food line has the hot wing bar, and it's actually rather nice. I occasionally I like the they have some like General Tso's boneless wings, and the teriyaki ones are pretty good too. So occasionally I'll splurge and get some boneless wings from it. Yeah, Mike says Food Lion left Florida years ago. Yep. Starbucks. Yeah, because David says Publix is a tough competition. Yep. Winn-Dixie and Publix have the market there. Yep, that's for sure. Mike says the more expensive the area, the more frequent the store remodel and experimentation of merchandise. I wouldn't. Yeah, that might make sense. Although it's also possible in our area there may be another reason why they put a hot wing bar in. There's a for all I know, the manager of the store asked for it. It seems to be fairly popular too. Oh, I found some capacitor legs, Jeremy. They were under my mat. Jeremy says, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. So, I got the Sun workstation. I am probably going to have to pull this card out because with non-retained NVRAM, the Sun workstation will try to use that as the primary display, and I don't feel like hunting down where that cable fell to. All right. So we're going to plug this in. All right, let me plug the module in as carefully as I can. All right, it's in its holder. All right. All right, so I've got the module in. All right. Now, let me see if I can find the. Oh, I'll use the picture on my Oh. And I've left myself a note. Check Ultra 10 Flash Write Protect. Alright. Because I updated this firmware. And I couldn't remember if I set it back to Write Protect. And from, as far as I can tell, if I remember, I believe the flash is write protected. It's pins 1 and 2 of the jumper right beside the flash chip. I updated this machine to the latest version of the Open Boot, or whatever Sun calls it. Alright, got the keyboard plugged in. Actually, let me check something against my other Dell of a Sun. Yes. Okay. Because I remember right protecting it. David Starbucks says, don't get me started on retail pharmacy. Actually, our food line doesn't have a retail pharmacy. The only thing I can't get at Food Lion. Alright. Alright, so we've got... Oh. Hold please. I was about to say, oh no, I don't see a video image. Okay, now maybe that's a problem. Still don't see a video image. Okay, so I heard the beep. Well, yep, I don't have a video image. All right, let me check to make sure that when I inserted this module, it didn't bend pins. Night, Joe. All right. Oh, what was that? Oh, please. Something fell off of a card. I don't think it was a screw. It might have been a blob of glue or something. But I definitely just saw something fall inside the sun. So before I power it up again, let me see if I can find the item that fell. Oh. Okay. Okay, good thing I didn't assume it was a blob of glue. Newsflash, it wasn't. Yes, I've got a... Well, no, I don't have a 13W3 to VGA adapter. I have a 13W3 to VGA cable. And it's probably plugged into my SGI. And I gotta... Hold please, I'm trying to fish a screw out of the case. There we go. I don't know why that screw was where it was. Alright, let's try again. Dusty says, I don't understand how CVS and Walgreens exist in rural with their bonker hours. Do I want one that is Sun branded? Well, yeah, that would be nice. Well, okay, still no video image. Alright, let me pop the module off that we just repaired. See. Did I put it on backwards? Did I break a pin? Did I do something wrong? I don't know. Well, all the pins look like they're intact. Alright, well, let me try installing it again. Alright. Did I hit the right? Oh, I should have hit the right one. Huh. Alright, I am not getting a... Yeah, I've got caps lock, but... Wait a minute. Caps lock? That's a weird one to have. Something tells me that's probably trying to give me some diagnostic code. I don't... Caps lock seems like an awfully weird thing for it to turn on. And I'm not getting a video image, and I pulled the video card out. To make sure that I only had one video card in. I'm almost thinking I'm going to have to pull the NVRAM module out of the other Sun and install it and see what it does. Well, you know, I guess I could pull the... Alright, let me remove the module. And let's try turning it on without this module installed. I know I've got it in right because I marked it. See, there's my... Oh, you can't. So, there's my arrow to pin 1. There's pin 1 on this board. And there's pin 1 in the holder. And pin 1 is the one that was... Alright, without the NVRAM module in, we don't get anything on the keyboard, and there's no video signal. Oh, and actually, I think this holder is keyed. So I'm pretty sure that if I tried to put it in backwards, there's a small little key on it, and that is correct. It will not go in backwards. Of course, I guess I could have put the module in it backwards if I got something twisted around. All right, let me pull the module out of the other one, and I guess I can reinstall it one more time. And what's the definition of? Was it the definition of insanity? Trying things over and over and expecting a different result. Oh, you know what I could do is maybe I could put this module in without this retainer. Maybe the retainer's taking too much room. Well, actually, kind of. All right, let's try it again. No. All right. All right. Let me put this module in just straight in the socket without this thing, and maybe it's not going in far enough. I'll make it really hard to remove, but all right. Well, now we got caps lock blinking. No video image. All right, I guess I'm going to have to try. Oh, that's really tough to get out. Yeah, I put the module in without its carrier, and now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get it out easily. All right, at least I hot glued it, so that should at least give it a little more strength to get it out. I'm going to have to. I think what I'm going to have to do is try the other module that I didn't try to repair. And see if the machine boots then, because if it does, then I probably broke the module. And if it doesn't boot, then I'm fighting another issue. So first I have to find my chip lifter, which I don't know what I did with it. Alright, let me move the Dremel out of the way. The sun's setting on it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to pull the DOS card out to be able to lift the chip with the chip lifter. dust card should not be... the dust card should not be another video source. I'll put it that way, although I am somewhat concerned by the screw that seemingly fell off of the DOS compatibility card. And we still have only caps lock. Huh. Alright. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this chip out somehow. Since I didn't put it in its holder, it's going to be harder to get out. Not impossible. Alright. Okay, so I got that out. Alright, let me set it to the side. Let me pull the module out of the other Sun workstation. And let's give it a try. Module's out. Alright, we'll put it in the Sun workstation. Alright, module's in. Alright. If it posts, then I probably ruined the first one. We'll go to capture input. And that's not a good sign. Okay, all the lights on the keyboard blinked again. And that not a good sign was not a good sign for the original module. It would appear as if I did something really stupid by using a Dremel where the instructions said to use a hacksaw. So don't do that. Okay, okay, it is possible that maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough, so I guess I'll give it another try with the original module. Well, it was like it wasn't responding, David. That was the problem. But maybe I just wasn't waiting long enough. So I'll try the other one more time if I can get this one out. There we go. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough. It took longer than I thought it did. Okay, so I got caps lock. Caps lock's blinking a couple times. The thing is, I think with the other module, I think I had num lock and caps lock by this point. Yeah, it's like stuck at caps lock. Oh, caps lock just turned off. Oh no, caps lock's blinking. Yeah, caps lock turned off. Caps lock's on again. I'm almost tempted to do a quick search for the Sun service manual and see if the keyboard LEDs mean anything on boot. Um, there's a very good chance the answer is yes. All right. Yeah, it's not booting with the original module that I tried to repair. That is painfully obvious. David says, I love how the firmware BIOS is almost a separate operating system. Yeah, alright. Well, I think I have... Alright, we'll put the other module in. Alright. That's the other module. It's in the system. And I can already tell it's doing more things than it was. Yep, there we go. Alright, so I have ruined a module. Alright, I have confirmed, I'm looking under the microscope. I can confirm that it is a 48T59. So it's not like I used the wrong repair module. So, alright. Can I tell what I did? Not really. Probably broke one of the bond wires inside the chip. I mean, I guess there's one thing I could do. Alright, so let me turn this off. Let me pull the other module out. Alright, just so I don't accidentally, as I check something here, I'm going to, alright, well, I'm going to put a yellow dot in the corner there. And we'll put a little yellow line on that side of the carrier. Because I want to do one thing here. I want to remove this module from this little carrier housing. because I want to see if there's anything I can find on the bottom that might tell me I put the module on backwards. It's possible that if I put the module on backwards somehow, even though I marked it, all right, there. So the chip is marked on the bottom side. There's a factory mark or something in this circle here. And if I pull this out, I can see that the factory mark is on that side as well. So unless they put the factory mark on two different sides of the chip, yeah, all right. All right, yep. I just looked and confirmed. I'm pretty sure I put the board on the correct way. Well, David, I can't share your optimism that I learned something, because I knew from the get-go that I probably shouldn't use a Dremel, and yet I did because I couldn't find my hacksaw. So I don't know if I really learned anything. It's more a case of I didn't listen to myself. Although, maybe next time I am telling myself that I really should probably use the hacksaw like Glitch said to. Maybe that I learned that I should listen to myself next time. But yeah. Alright, so I have ruined a NVRAM module. And I'm not going to try the other one because I have no idea where my hacksaw is. So I'm going to have to look for that. I'll have to look for my hacksaw. So anyways, this repair module is probably fine. I'll have to use some isopropyl alcohol to... I know I'll get it fixed. I'll just have to modify the other module. No, Jeremy, I am not using the Dremel again. There is no amount of convincing me to use the Dremel again. That's how I screwed up the first time. I am not doing the Dremel again. No one is going to convince me to use the Dremel. There's no way I can survive a second 8-bit guy level live stream mess up. David says, buy another hacksaw, then you'll find the original one. Yeah, sadly, that's probably true. Not all problems should be solved with a Dremel, and this is one that I shouldn't have used a Dremel. I should have listened to myself, and probably nothing that you can say that's going to make me want to try a Dremel again. Yes, Jeremy, I know I'll have to watch my angle with the hacksaw too, but a hacksaw doesn't go at 15 to 30,000 RPM. It goes at a much slower speed. Jack says it looked like the Dremel caused a lot of carnage. Yeah, I probably didn't get it straight on. Jeremy's probably going to agree with that statement. But it looked straight to me visually. The thing is, as fast as a Dremel goes, by the time comments were made in the chat that my angle of attack was wrong, I'd probably already damaged it. I know. I shouldn't have used the Dremel. I'm kicking myself for using the Dremel. I'll find my hacksaw, or I'll buy another hacksaw. I didn't want to buy a hacksaw when I full well know I have a hacksaw. It's around the house somewhere. I have a hacksaw and blades for it. In fact, it's a nice old wood-handled hacksaw. It's not one of those cheapo hacksaws that they make today. It's actually a nice one that Grandpa gave me. And I've misplaced it. So, you live, you learn. And what I've learned tonight is that if Jeremy says, no sense in crying over spilled milk is what my parents would have told me. Yeah, Jack says, don't feel bad. Oopsies happen to the best of us. Yeah. So anyways, what I've learned tonight is when your brain is telling you not to use the Dremel, then don't use the Dremel for the sake of having a live stream. But I tried looking for my hacksaw. I don't know where I put it. I know I had it down in the basement, and well, it's not in my toolbox, which probably means it's sitting under something. And you all should know that even when things are brightly colored, I can't find them if they're sitting under something on my workbench. So the fact that it's a metal and wood-handled hacksaw is, well, not going to be any different. Thomas Armstrong says more eBay. You know, I've not tried searching eBay for these modules, but yeah, I mean, the other Sun workstation is basically turning into a parts workstation anyways, because I don't have a working CD-ROM for it. It's now a donor NVRAM module source. I don't have RAM for it. I'm at least putting these things back in here so I don't lose or damage them. Even though, until I get the NVRAM working, I really can't use this video card because I don't want it to be the primary video card. Access tools like to disappear. That's how I have two of them. Yeah, anyways. Next time I'm going to be less willing to just simply use a Dremel. Or at least for a NVRAM module repair. I'll find the hacksaw. I'll buy another hacksaw. Probably, David says I have a whole garage filled with tools I temporarily lost. Yeah. Alright. So, I guess, what have we learned today? Dremels are fun and exciting tools, but they're also dangerous when you get the angle of attack wrong. We've learned that when your brain is screaming at you to not use a Dremel, that you should probably listen to your brain. We've learned that I bought a DVD Maker Deluxe and a I/O card. Thomas Armstrong says, while they want $100 US on eBay for the modded module. Yeah, that's more than I want to pay for one, because the repair board was like 10. So, yeah, alright. Thomas Armstrong says, check out eBay item. Oh, hold on. I can copy the text without accidentally clicking on an option in the UI that would do something that I don't want to do. For some reason, it wasn't really... That is... Okay, that is just... And they can't even make it... I'm sorry, Glitchworks' module looks nicer than that. And I bet that's just a coin cell battery that's in shrink wrap so that you think it's a battery module. That... Yeah, that's really nice. I will not be buying that. Jeremy says, I just found something interesting. Um, well, Jeremy, that's a nice video, but it's 3 years old, and did they actually do anything? Is that like the latest video on the topic? Oh, unfortunately so. Yeah, that's interesting, Jeremy. Someone was trying to design a replacement module, and they uploaded part 1 of the video, and they've got a PCB design, and they're showing it off, but there's no part 2 video on their channel. Thomas Armstrong says it's a battery bypass. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting, Jeremy, but that... yeah, I guess I can reach out to them to inquire. But actually... Oh, wait a minute. Someone left a comment. Any further progress? Oh, they did finish it. And... well, I'll have to see if I can, I'll have to see if I can get one of them. I mean, I have another 48T59 to work with, but I only have one more. Would be good to have another option. Alright, I'll leave him a comment and that I would be interested in one, but I'll do that later. As for the butchered Sun NVRAM module with the battery that totally looks like someone soldered 2 wires onto a coin cell that looks flimsy as all get out, I'm not paying $100 for that. I could probably do that good of a job myself at a fraction of the cost. David says you'll get it the second time. Well, I want a backup for the backup. Wow, these NVRAM modules are really expensive. The unmodified ones are like $80. This is ridiculous. Alright, well, anyways, I'll have to look up the Oh, I have to look it up. All right, I'm just bummed because I'm always bummed when I have a live stream and the project goes sideways. Like, completely sideways. Like, as sideways as my Dremel was, apparently. Yes, I'm kind of beating myself up because... I don't know. Probably because I was already tired to begin with, and... Still a good stream. Yeah, we learned something. We learned that you just... We learned how not to do it. David says, I was looking at the originals. Bespoke parts are not cheap. I know. It's just... I mean, I don't mind a reasonable price for something. I just think $100 for that repaired module on eBay is a bit unreasonable because the fit and finish does not match the price. If they could just taken a little bit more effort to maybe make it more robust, I would say that, yeah, that, given how much a non-modified one costs, that is commensurate with the extra cost. But yeah, as Jack says, the quality of the repair looked sus. Yes. If I was paying $100 for something, the quality of that repair looked sus. If they'd taken a little more effort, even if maybe they charged $110, but it looked like it was a robust design, then I might go for it. It's one of those... I mean, if it came down to the fact that I needed one. Jeremy says, I believe there's enough information for me to get a PCB going from that video, but only a small run is what I would do. Well, I mean, well, let me reach out to the original designer of the board, Jeremy, because if he has more boards, then there's no need to reverse engineer what he did. Yeah, Jeremy, that probably describes it very, very aptly. They didn't care about quality and wanted a lot of money for little effort. Yeah. And I'll add, if they really did solder wires to a coin cell battery, they obviously also weren't thinking about what happens when you apply soldering iron heat to a coin cell battery. Never mind the fact that that possibly could shorten the life of the coin cell battery. In some cases, dramatically shorten the life of a coin cell battery. You could do your own research as to what happens when you put too much heat into a coin cell battery. It will rapidly decrease the life of the coin cell battery. And by rapidly, I am going for the, shall we say, the rapid unscheduled disassembly. Rapidly deplete the life of the battery. TCAM says, oh, hi, TCAM. TCAM says you can buy those batteries with attached tabs. Yes, you can buy those batteries with attached tabs. However, if you look at the photo on eBay, it doesn't look like that's one of the batteries with attached tabs. Because it kind of looks like they've soldered the wire to the top of the battery and the bottom. So I'm not convinced. I'm not totally convinced that that's a battery that had tabs on it. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is, but still. Jack says, I would bet the wires are taped to the coin cell battery. Oh, thank you, Dave. Backup funds for the Norma project. All right. Or as I like to say, yeah. So thank you, David Starbuck. All right, I'm 20% to my goal. So, yep. So there's backup funds, and also, if I don't use it to repair a sun, then I'll make sure I have more buttons with me at VCF East. Because, as I was kind of saying last stream, okay, so I have, of my standard buttons and stickers, I have enough of those from last year that I don't need any more of those made. So I do have buttons and stickers with my cap on them, because that was by popular request. That I may need to order some more of those stickers, because I didn't get that many stickers. I definitely don't have enough of those buttons. So of those two designs, those I was going to like give out gratis. But then I have some other designs of buttons, and I was thinking of selling those really cheaply, but I mean, buttons do cost something. Yes, Jeremy, I already have Wheel of Regrets buttons. Those were going to be ones I was going to sell for a fair price. I was kind of thinking $1 a piece, or like all 6 of the special designs for $5. Or talking me down would also probably work. But I will say, though, if I do sell the buttons, if you are one of my channel supporters, current or former, then all you got to do is just remind me who you are, because I may have not met you in person. In fact, a lot of you I haven't met in person. And in fact, some of you I've never seen on camera. So I might not realize it's you. But if you let me know, oh, hey, by the way, I'm so-and-so. If I have the buttons with me at VCF East, I will give them to you, because I have been planning to do that. It's just postage is expensive. So it's one of those things that I've been going way less fast on than I wish I was. But anyways, yeah, if you're one of my channel supporters and I have the buttons, then by all means, you get them for free. Even if I'm selling the special designs, you get a set for free. You just will have to let me know who you are, because I may have not seen you on camera, and even if I have seen you on camera, it's not necessarily going to say that me seeing you on camera is going to immediately trigger me recognizing you in person. So, anyways. But yeah, so I hope to be able to order some more buttons, because I definitely don't have that many of the special designs. But yeah, so my special designs buttons are, I've got a pair of Wheel of Regrets related buttons. One that says Wheel of Regrets, and the other one says I bought it on Regret Bay. And then I have a computer button. And yes, that would be the Apple II clone computer. I have the dinosaur wearing the cap button. So yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, maybe it's only 4 special designs that I have. Oh, that's right, because one of them's April Apples. So, okay. And then, I thought there was one other design I have. I'll probably remember it. Okay, now that's bugging me. Alright, let me see if I've got the... Let me see if I've got the photos on my phone in an easy-to-get-to place. Maybe I'm misremembering how many I have. Anyways, yeah, the thought, if I sold the special designs, it would be, maybe it's just the, maybe I only have 6 designs in total. Because I've got Computerized start with my cap, the 2 Wheel of Regrets related ones, the dinosaur wearing the cap, computer, and then just my logo. Oh, and April Apples, so I guess I have 7 total. So, anyways, yeah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make a huge profit on the buttons. It's just the buttons do cost something. And it would be a little bit to defray my trip. But I'm not trying to make a huge profit. It's just also one of those that, given what the buttons cost, I could probably sell them for 50 cents and that would at least defray it, but I don't want to have a pocket full of change, so $1's easier than 50 cents. I mean, you can let me know in the comments or the chat if you think it's a good idea or a bad idea, because the thing is, I was eventually going to, when I can figure out a way to do it without taking every last bit of spare time to do it, I was eventually also going to sell the buttons online, just so that people could get them. And again, but the thing is, I'm not trying to make a large amount on them, but selling them online costs more. And I mean, I realize, let me try to phrase this. Okay, I realize that there are creators that they have to use print-on-demand services because they don't have the capacity to do it any other way. And the thing is, those buttons on print-on-demand, that makes them cost like $5 to $7 a piece. So, it's like, the thing is, not to give away all my costs, but I think the buttons, I can't remember if I paid 25 or 35 cents for them. Because I have a friend that does buttons, and that he's like, got it down to an art. So I bought them from him, and he charges a quite reasonable price for them. Granted, I mean, you have to buy a minimum quantity, but it's a reasonable minimum quantity. Because the thing is, he makes buttons for bands. And he's got his business down such that even small bands can afford a small run of buttons. So, maybe it was 35 cents each. They're a little more when you have them printed in color. But anyways, so we're not talking like large sums of money. But the thing is, if I sell them online, you got to add the fact that I'm probably paying the platform I sell them on something, and the payment processor something. And of course, I got to charge you shipping because the post office is going to want something, and yada, yada, yada. I mean, I can definitely see why the print-on-demand ones are expensive. And again, stickers are, I can get them cheaply if I buy them in like 500 or 1,000. But again, to give them out, it's one thing, but to actually like send them out, then we're talking postage. And again, if I had designs that I was selling, you can add it up. Anyways, that's kind of why I've got the buttons that I'm willing to give out, because that's advertising. But for some of my special designs, I thought at least kind of try to sell them in a way where I could sell them for a fair price where people can have them, because I'm not trying to make a huge profit, but just in the reality of if I sell them online, I'd probably have to charge more than $1. Because just reasons. All the overhead. But anyways, yeah, that's why I thought $1 for the nice little color buttons. It was kind of also a way of, because, alright, I guess Jack says I could do a sticker button pack for like $5 or something plus shipping. Yeah, something like that. I just want to at least make sure I'm not losing money on it, is basically the thing. I don't need to make a huge profit. Sure, it would be nice if there was like a little bit in there to kind of defray costs, or like help me buy the next regret. But yeah, as long as it covered like the cost to make them and the cost for a padded envelope to send them in, a little bit of bubble wrap. Although I usually have enough bubble wrap, I could probably reuse bubble wrap. Let's face it, I have enough bubble wrap. That one's not the problem, but like a new padded envelope to send them in. And I usually do put them in a poly bag to protect them. So just, yeah, I might look to see what it would cost. But the thing is, for me to sell them at that price, I have to do the fulfillment. So there is that. So that is a good idea. But at least the thing is, if I do it at VCF East, because I'll be at an exhibit table, as far as I know, I can do that. Then at least I don't have to worry about the like buying packing materials and shipping them. And the other thing is, I have an idea for my table. I wanted to make it an interactive idea, and I was kind of wanting to got to figure out what my per item cost would be for it. But it was like I don't know. I don't want to give it fully away yet, but yeah, Freedom Linux says shipping low value items is a problem. Flat/stickers is slightly better. Yeah, that's the thing for shipping. And maybe I just need to sit down and make some of my designs in sticker form. Because then, yeah, I can, then basically, I can, yeah, that's way, because in fact, even for international, if they're stickers, I think I've pretty much figured out that if it looks like a letter, then they're probably not going to open it and verify that it's a letter. And stickers are flat enough that it's going to look like a letter. So I would even be able to do it internationally. The thing is, for buttons, I would pretty much be limited to the US, because by the time I looked at international shipping, we're talking small parcels, which is going to far outweigh the value of the buttons. I mean, even with US shipping, we're already into more than I would like to have to charge for shipping, but it's at least not stomach churning. But yeah, that is the thing. And maybe I'll look into having more stickers. But again, I kind of don't want to do the on-demand stickers because they have to charge a lot. And I would like to find a way where I can let people get stickers cheaply, even if I can't always send them out for free. But at least if I can find a way to drive the cost down. I think several YouTubers do it. I think Joe does it, that if you only order stickers, then it goes in a first-class envelope. And I think he charges shipping accordingly. Or I think actually the stickers, he may have them on his web store where it's like free shipping if you have stickers only, because the postage is baked into the sticker price. But he can do it, and it's a fairly reasonable price for the stickers, because yeah, if that's all you're ordering, it gets put in a first-class envelope. So if I could do something like that, because that's the thing, I don't need to make a lot of money on it. Sure, it'd be nice if there was just a little bit baked in to make sure if anything, to just make sure I'm not losing money on it, to cover the occasional lost envelope or parcel. But yeah, there are things where I just want to get them to you and try to charge as little as possible, but not lose money on it. And stickers and buttons, and I guess magnets if I had them, but I think stickers and buttons are a good starting point. Because actually, if you wanted a magnet, you could get the buttons and then put a magnet on them yourself. Problem solved. But yeah, that's kind of those things that I want to get them to you for a low price. And if having some at VCF East that I can get them to you for a low price, or if you want the standard designs free, then yeah, that's what some of the VCF East money's for. It's things that I'm going to simply hand out and let you enjoy. And yes, I'll make sure I have some more of the stickers and buttons with my cap, because that was like what everyone asked for as soon as they saw my stickers. In fact, maybe I might make a button that's just my cap. That could be interesting. Anyways, I guess that's enough rambling, because I do have to go to work tomorrow. All right, I guess I'm in a slightly better mood now, even though there's been learning done. So anyways, I think that's about where to call the stream. I will eventually admit what my special idea is for VCF East. But I think first, before I do that, we will have a stream where I need to get an image writer. I need to get an image writer up and running with a vintage Mac so that I can try a printer driver that would extend the life of a color ribbon and see how well that works and how long it would take to print a picture that is, say, about 3 inches square, give or take. Because the idea doesn't really work if it takes too long to print. Well, Jeremy, I would love to see you at VCF East this year, but I realize you've got challenges that would prevent that. So we will see you at another VCF event someday. So, Freedom Linux was just describing the InfoAge facility to a coworker today. It sure is something. Yes, and some of us were wondering where this additional exhibit room is. Although, apparently, after making an inquiry at the beginning of the week, I think I figured out that I might be in the new exhibit room. I might not be in the new exhibit room. I can't commit to VCF Midwest this year, Jeremy, because of work conflicts. So that probably is not going to happen. We'll just say that when VCF Midwest is happening, it's in a couple week range where I'm not going to ask for vacation, because it probably would not be approved. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make VCF Midwest this year. That will have to be a next year goal. So anyways, yeah, I would love to be able to make all the VCF events within reason. There is one event that I think it's VCF Southeast that is held in conjunction with a comic book festival or something. So that one's kind of the... I'm not sure if I would go to that one if I was able to make all the VCF events, just because it's kind of not exclusively a VCF event. It also seemingly happens the same weekend as another VCF event, or very close to one. Anyways, yeah, so this year I do have a second event I would like to go to, but they haven't scheduled it yet. But there is an event called Boat Fest. It has nothing to do with boats. I think it's called Boat Fest because of the paddle boats that go down the Kanawha River, not because it's for boating. But it is a vintage computer event in West Virginia. But they haven't scheduled it for this year, so I don't know when it's going to happen, but I would like to go to that one because of its proximity to me. Even though I think it is Amiga heavy and I'm not a big Amiga person, I would still like to go to it. So there is that. But they haven't scheduled it yet for this year, so I don't know when it is and if it would be conflicting with anything else. So can't commit to that one, but I would like to go to that one this year. It has the benefit of, given where it is in West Virginia, I could probably fairly easily go there. And George says it's in July. One of the founders is known as Boat of Car. Oh, Boat. Okay. Hi, George. Welcome. Yeah, Freedom Linux says West Virginia. Oh, that is deep into West Virginia. Yes. It's in Hurricane, West Virginia. On the Kanawha. In fact, actually, if it's a small world moment, my friend that I buy the buttons from was in a band that existed while I was going to college. And I think the first show of theirs that I saw was in Hurricane. If you want to talk small world, I was like, wow. Yeah. George says tickets are on sale now. All right, well, I will have to go look that up. Jack says, do you think they make you show proof of Amiga ownership? No, I'm pretty sure they don't. All right, well, I'll go check that out, George. I know when I checked, like, 2 weeks ago that there wasn't anything up yet, so... All right, that is good. I will go check it out. I will see when it is. And David says, I have a... Pymiga. Does that count? Yeah. Anyways, all right, so I'll go see when that is, and it's quite possible that I will have, well, I'll be making plans to attend. Jack says close enough. Anyways, all right, with that, it's definitely getting late enough. My feet are cold because I turned the heater on. That would be at my feet. JCM wanted to see Justin without his hat on. If I take my hat off, that would break the camera, so sorry. If you want to see me without a hat on, then you'll have to wait for the video that is stuck in production that I haven't been able to get out of production because of reasons that I am hoping to eventually finish before VCF East 2025, because it will be 2 years old at that point. And yeah, during part of it, I was not wearing a hat. So anyways, you'll have to wait for that video. Hopefully I'll get it done soon. Trying to fix some of the production challenges as fast as I can. CGI a hat into the video. No, Jack, I did something else. I did something else. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't need to CGI a hat in. I figured out a way to pull it off without needing to CGI anything. So, anyways, I think with that, don't forget to smash that like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know you like live streams. Yeah. Like live streams like this where we learn things. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when I go live next. Haven't scheduled live streams for next week, but tentatively, I was thinking of looking at the image writer local talk board that I salvaged out of the printer that UPS destroyed. I was thinking of looking at that on one of the streams next week. I am waiting for an order from jcm-1.com with some Nethernets, so we'll have to build some Nethernets during that stream so that I can set up a small local talk network, because I don't have any phone nets, because phone nets are ridiculously expensive, which is why Joe sells Nethernets. That not only do you not have to find the used phone net adapters, but you don't have to find telephone cord either, because the Nethernet just uses standard Cat5 patch cables. So, yay! And I have plenty of those around. So anyways, yeah, that should be in soon, and we'll take a look at local talk. Jack says I have 3 off-brand phone net adapters from back in the day. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't have any. But anyways, I think one of the streams will look at that image writer, just because I'd like to know if that my weird idea that I haven't admitted to yet will work. And then for the other stream next week, I'm not sure what we'll look at. I was thinking of something and I've forgotten what it is. Oh, actually, we might take a look at the Pentium Pros again. Yeah, we might be looking at Pentium Pros again. That might be the other stream next week. But anyways, I think with that, I'd like to wish everyone a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out, giving me moral support in the chat, even as I was getting aggravated with myself for destroying an NVRAM module. But hey, I learned. Don't use the Dremel when you're tired. Don't use the Dremel when your brain tells you to not use the Dremel. Simple as that. Well, anyways, thank you all for joining me. Hope to see you all here next time. Take care and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.